everybody, it's Jukebox, and you're listening to the Maritime Milsim Podcast, brought to you by Tier 1 Scenarios, Rap4 Canada, Jester's Tactical Sports Center, and Unanistan 3D Print and Cut. This week, the boys chat with Evan Henshaw of Widowmaker Industries.
Somebody's got his big boy panties on.
You're damn right. And they're lacy as hell.
Ooh.
That is.
Now it's a party.
Woo! All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 44 of the Maritime Milsim Podcast. I'm your host, Hooligan. You've got... No, don't even start. We got friend and teammate Nightmare.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I've got the other friend and teammate Guardian.
Hey, how's it going?
Again, buddy, enthusiasm. Come on, this is like 6 episodes in a row.
I thought I was going to go first.
Why would you go first?
Because
he's
I'm
the
more
Guardian.
important.
Put your best foot forward. Nightmare?
Yeah, that's why I went first.
No, you're just the host. The host always has to go first.
That's fine.
No, it's
No
a
one
shit
even
sandwich.
introduces
It goes good.
Wait,
bad,
who's this guy
and
talking?
good.
I haven't heard him introduced yet. I don't know who that is.
That guy there, that's Jester from Jester's Tactical Sports Center.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. That was a Guardian impression.
Sounds like it. Yeah, you're right.
I thought you were doing Eeyore for a second.
Yeah, I focused a little on Eeyore just to make it emphasize well.
Oh, fantastic.
Bother.
That's
My house flew down again. My buy-sell trade didn't work this week.
So we also actually have a guest on, like usual.
A real person.
A real person, yes. We have Evan Henshaw from Widowmaker Industries.
What's that name
up?
again?
Evan Henshaw?
Woo!
Oh, that's a really grand entrance there.
Who from what company?
I'm just some guy. I'm a glorified stock boy.
Stock boy. Cute shorts.
Oh, come on now. You got to at least be like glorified supervisor stock boy.
Now, see, there was a point in time when I was just starting in this industry, and there was lots of other brands developing, and there were people that were giving themselves titles like CEO and stuff like that. You know, you can't be a CEO without a board of directors, so it's just kind of.
Right.
I decided to make fun of that, so I actually had business cards made with a whole bunch of different titles and like stock boy and envelope liquor and stuff like that, just kind of to mock other people because we were getting a really big kick out of all these companies that were saying they had CEOs and yada yada yada. So you know, I'm a director of WMI Sports. It's pretty much the title you give when there's a single owner. So you know, I can't say I'm a CEO. So I just found more fun. We actually technically also have a director of bacon cookery.
Nice.
Yeah, at an event we had a guy cooking food for us the whole time, so that he earned that title.
That's like
well
when I
earned.
worked on base. We were a bunch of dumb kids who got hold of a label maker. And,
Yep.
and we discovered above our fridge a giant walk-in cooler as Army base. It actually had a tiny little label. It said dairy liquids rather than just milk.
Yep.
And so we ended up we were in charge of juice and dairy. So we were beverage technicians overseeing the glucose hydration formula and the dairy liquids. And we managed to fit that all on name tags.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
And
Good times.
That's all they wore was the name tag.
Hell yeah. Sexy as hell. Not really.
Very liquid.
No, it wasn't fun. Anyways, enough about me. For now.
Finally.
With your weird antics.
Whenever I was like 16 and it was...
Argonaut stories.
Right? Camp Argonaut. It was one of those jobs that I couldn't get fired from. I hit a guy with a plate and they just moved me to the next room over. So,
You went to Argonaut?
Well,
I
least
worked
they
at
said
Argonaut.
what you-
It's weird. We were definitely there at the same time.
You now have Guardian's attention.
Aww. You guys had one of those serendipitous moments and didn't know it.
it's true.
He handled
How did
your
two
dairy.
gingers avoid each other?
Oh, by the way, if you ever got sick, it's probably our fault. We broke every health law in the book.
So, before this turns into a lawsuit against Hooligan and his antics from years ago,
Just thinking that.
tell us more, Evan.
This recording is based on a fictional rendition of things that... Oh, no, wait, they did that.
If any
Yeah, they
people,
know.
places, or names are coincidental, something or another, I'll find that later. I'll say it at the end.
Change to protect the guilty.
Innocent until proven. Anyways, yeah. So Evan, why don't you tell us what Widowmaker Industries is all about?
Well, I mean, it's kind of it's been an interesting chain of events over the past few years. I started out around, well, I guess over 3 years ago now, just with a couple little things. Just kind of for the hell of it, I was a stay-at-home parent when my daughter was born, and I just kind of wanted to inject my own, I don't know how to say it. Just kind of wanted to inject myself in the industry in general. So we started with a couple of friends, magfedpb.com, which is a long distant thing of the past now. Nobody even remembers what it was at this point. But it was a blog for news about MagFed games, products, the industry in general. And that grew to a point where I started to become involved more with some of the brands that I was working with, and eventually led to a job offer doing promotional work with Milsig. And then from there, I ended up being signed to the Canadian distribution after things fell apart with the guys out, the old distributor in Canada, the guys out west. So I kind of flew by the seat of my pants and took over from there. But I mean, I come from a lot of experience in the customer service industry, so to me, it's kind of a number one always, even before selling stuff, because if you don't have the service to back up your sales, then, well, you're the next guy that's going to go out of business.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So with Widowmaker Industries, there's also Patch Panel.
Yes.
Right? So tell us about that.
So Patch Panel is actually kind of where it all started for me on a business level. I was laid off from my job while I was on parental leave. So knowing that, I was completely broke and I didn't have much money left in my name. So I found some stuff I knew could sell, which was patches. I had always said to friends that, at the time patches were becoming a growing craze, but they hadn't really hit their peak. And there was never a website where you could find all of them in one spot. So that's what I said was my goal. And I essentially took my last $200 I had to my name and bought some patches, and then they sold really quickly, and then I bought some more, and then I bought some other brands, and then it grew into this website that, well, I sell, just about, I'm not gonna say all of them, but I sell a lot of different patches. We have about 700 different SKUs on our website now. Morale patches, identification patches, lots of custom stuff, from the really horrendously offensive to things that no one will ever get. And as of this year, that's grown also into offering custom patches for teams, businesses, events, things like that. And that's actually been a hugely booming endeavor for us.
And they turn out awesome, just saying.
Yeah, we actually, Jesse, who is our designer, he's very, very talented. And it's just kind of, this has suited him perfectly. So at this point, when he was he started as our designer for, just everything in general. And at this point, he pretty much just does patches 24/7. That's all he does, because we have a lot of people coming to us seeing the design work he's done and saying, well, I want a patch that looks like that. And to make it look like, the good ones, we have to start from the ground up. So, we're spending just as much time doing design work as making patches at this point. It's become his full-time job.
I can picture him in your basement right now with a spotlight and tied to a chair, just turning out patch designs every couple minutes, just begging for more water and a vacation.
We actually share a desk, so
Oh, so you're down there chained with him.
Yeah, the first probably 6 months in our warehouse, he actually worked in the warehouse side as opposed to the office, just because he liked the peace and silence. But our warehouse doesn't stay super warm in the winter, so it changed pretty quickly once it got cold out.
Wow. So, speaking of custom, I don't know if, it brought to my mind, there's a picture of us from the game that we were just at in PRZ, and this is one you should definitely put into production. But Jukebox came up with the idea of pillows, paintballers I'd like to operate with. So we're going to try and do up a design, and I expect to see that in the store in a matter of 6 months.
All right.
Oh, look, easiest business pitch I've ever done.
Yep.
No. So you basically handle most, if not all, of the Milsig stuff in Canada.
Entirely, yeah. We are the exclusively licensed distributor for Canada, so if you find it at any store in Canada, it came from us in the first place. And that's been the case for about 2.5 years at this point.
Okay, so okay, perfect. So if you find anything, if anyone else says, can't get it anywhere else but here, they're lying.
They're full of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless they snag some cool limited edition stuff and are the only ones with it left.
Yeah, all right, I see how that works. Cool. The name Widowmaker Industries, where did it come from?
Killed a guy.
Dictionary.
Pretty much. It was a nickname that I earned playing paintball. This was probably 8 or 9 years ago. There was, I had another nickname I was going by at the time, but there was an event where there was a bunch of guys hiding in some tall grass, and I got a good angle on them and dove in there with one of the Tippmann big boy grenades and screamed mercy. And the ref told them they all had to come out because I had a grenade, even though I didn't set it off.
You just jumped in with it in your hand?
There was like 25 people in that bush.
Wow.
Which I did not know going into it, otherwise I probably wouldn't have done it.
Nice.
And as we were walking away, somebody made a comment about, this guy's the Widowmaker, and it kind of stuck. So the reason it got used for business was because I had absolutely no friggin' idea what to call a business when I was very abruptly assigned the Canadian distribution for Milsig. I had a very short, like less than 1 week window of time to create a business, register a corporation, set up a website, get a bank account, do everything. It was a very short period of time. So it was essentially what I came up with, but we ended up registering as WMI Sports Widowmaker Industries.
What was that?
That was emphasis to his statement. It's
Yeah,
a trademark
exactly.
sound that goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had an idea.
It's called an epiphany.
That was my computer making other noises. And so that's pretty much where it came from, was just more or less it was I didn't know what else to use.
I'm not
stuck.
I'm not
stuck
horribly
with my name. I
surprised.
built a reputation for myself with MagFed PV, and I guess people were starting to recognize who I was. So to tie the two together was really helpful when it came to I started off in a point where the brand did not have a wonderful reputation due to, well, the reasons the other guys got fired. So having a name that people knew and could understand definitely helped my cause.
Cool. Very cool. What's your favorite marker? Because I know you handle Milsig, so I mean you're probably like legally obliged to say that it's a Milsig marker.
Well, how about this? What was your favorite marker before you got into Milsig?
Yes.
I have a PE SL8R. I still own it, though I haven't used it in upwards of 4 years. I love that thing to death. It's a great gun.
That was quick.
Yeah. Well, it's the one I used for the most period of time, and people don't realize this, but I was a speedball guy for much longer than anything else. So my roots are deeply ingrained in that. But that thing was my baby. It never let me down. So yeah, that would be my favorite to this day. I haven't used any of the new stuff, so I can't really say anything new.
That's not bad. So, what's your favorite Milsig marker?
The SMG. It's just kind of changed the way a lot of things work for us. It's one of the first markers we've done that's actually modeled after something real. So that was definitely a kind of a new step forward in the Milsig history. It's always been about function over form. But now that function is in such a great spot, going for form is the next step. So, it's a nice balanced weight. I'm not going to say it's light, but it's a nice balanced weight. And they work amazingly. I mean, we're 6 months into them being on the market, and I have yet to do any tech support on one yet.
Wow, that's impressive.
Period.
I know.
Yep.
I got to handle one, and I
Yeah.
went to shoulder it, and I was blown away by how tight you can get the marker.
Yeah,
and
I use the HCS, and it's what it comes with. But because I run a remote line now, that stock has made me like running a remote line again. I run it at like 2 notches out, so it's super compact.
Yeah, it's
And how much are these running for nowadays?
They are $6.99 Canadian, $5.29 US, I believe. Our
Wow.
wonderful Canadian dollar sucks, so.
Yeah, it does.
yeah. But I know I've seen these things in action. I know the other jester from a team called the Wolverines out of Nova Scotia, he runs one. I think he does.
Yeah, and after Fulcrum,
he does.
there's
Yeah,
a
he
couple
does,
other
he does.
guys out there with them.
He
Yeah.
swears by that thing, man.
Yeah, I've seen him one-hand it. Like, it's not even there.
Yeah,
He,
yeah. I
the
mean,
day he got
the
it, he
thing
came
is,
over to
it's-
me and it was like,
it's not
nightmare.
light,
Look at
but
this.
It's balanced enough that you can totally one-hand it with ease.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to put it this way, Valkyrie yoinked my HCS that was delivered this weekend, so I won't be putting that on my M17. But the way I like to run in my M17 and the SMG is as a secondary and use my T15 as a primary if I ever get more mags for it. But that's how lightweight and versatile these markers are. The SMG and the M17, they're just brilliant little markers.
I mean, that was a big focus.
Reliable.
When we first launched the CQC, everybody was afraid of a polymer marker, and, I won't beat around the bush. We did actually have problems at the beginning with that, but that was kind of an unforeseen thing, a very weird technical thing. But the reality is that they're all steel framed underneath, and steel is stronger than aluminum. So any of the stuff that did happen was cosmetic, but it was actually caused by really extreme temperatures during shipping. So a little bit of a minor correction there, and that solved all those problems.
Nice.
But one of the cool things about it is that steel frame is like a skeleton inside, and then the polymer is just a cosmetic covering. All
Hold
it's
on,
there to do is
hold
make
on.
it look pretty.
So you're basically saying that a mil-sig with its polymer and steel is the Wolverine of paintball.
Less blood and killing, but otherwise,
no,
yes.
The
Absolutely.
body of it. Oh, that's awesome.
There's a new selling point.
Given that Nelson is actually a Canadian as well, that would really play into it well, being
Oh,
Canadian.
yeah.
There, if I ever get one, I'm just going to immediately name it the Wolverine.
No, I can't. I already did it.
Not if I get one first.
Now we're all just going to race to see who can get it quickest.
I'll win.
What,
Alright,
I'll
I'll
call it
do
Lucille the Second?
No, he wants it to work.
Oh.
Oh, come on now.
Oh.
Lucille works when she wants to.
Oh.
She didn't like the paint at
Works just not
PRZ.
very well.
She did not like the paint. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the paint was incredibly brittle.
It was cold, so yeah, I found a couple people that were saying later in the day they were having problems, but that's just kind of
Like I've
what
never
happens
been
on a
able.
cold day. You let the paint sit for long enough, and it will get cold enough that it becomes a problem.
Yeah, like I've never been able to drop graffiti and just have it crack on the ground. It's always bounced.
It was probably the temperature.
So-
One of the only, kind of negatives to PRZ is that where they store the paint isn't really climate controlled, so it was probably cold to start with.
Okay. Yeah, that
Usually
makes
when we
sense.
play there in colder weather, we bring one of those heaters that you put on top of a propane can,
Nice.
and we'll usually keep all the paint in one corner of the tent and aim the heater that way.
Yeah,
Nice.
that works.
Good call. Yeah, because even my Helix mag cracked a ball. I'm getting a wicked echo. So yeah. Oh, bugging me.
Bugging you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, no, seriously, we got to fix the echo.
It's your side.
Yeah, mine's fine.
Weird. Echo's gone.
And we're good.
I think Guardian was screwing around with you.
Well, probably. And thing was with my Helix mag, I found when I was cleaning them, I took it apart, and there was actually a ball broken at the end. Like when I had, I don't know, something happened. Anyways, it broke a ball at the very back. It was strange, but the paint was. It was
I can tell
graffiti.
you why that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thing is, when the follower can only be in one position in its locked position, when you release it, if there's any type of gap in the mag, and you can create a gap just by inconsistencies in paint size.
Yeah.
So now that follower is essentially going to punch the last ball. when you release
Yeah,
it.
I think that's what it kind of did, but
It's one of those things that it's why we put that video up about loading our mags and how to make them feed flawlessly. And it's become helpful because I saw lots of people running into the same problem, and it's because there's that gap at the end and the follower punches the last ball.
yeah, everyone's always worried about they want that rattle, right? You want to have no pressure on the ball, but then you do that and it punches through the back paintball. But
Yeah, I mean, the way we show to do it, you're leaving them out of tension, but by so little that there's not even a millimeter of gap between, the last ball and the detent on the mag.
that works.
So, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was graffiti I had never experienced before. 'Cause I'd
I'd say it was the temperature. I mean, it wasn't exactly warm, so
yeah.
Yeah, that affects it unless you're using cold weather specific stuff.
yeah, there is a winter graffiti, but I don't think that's hit shelves yet.
No.
No, it's still too warm during the day. So it wouldn't surprise me because that skid was there the night before.
Yeah.
So because I'd used the paint the night before and I didn't have any breaks, and then during the day, so it must have gotten really cold overnight. But it happens.
I think I actually like the first batch of winter paint because you know it's fresh.
Yeah,
It shoots so.
there's a pretty
well.
good chance it wasn't made the year before.
Yeah. Like when Seabreeze last winter got their first batch of ice in, it shot so straight all day. Like everybody was loving it. Not a single complaint from anybody. And then, as time goes by, paint's getting older and then it degrades, obviously. But
Yeah.
it's just that first time it comes in fresh off the shelves, it was freshly made. I think the batch we got was only a week and a half old, too. So it was crisp.
Yeah.
Beautiful paint.
That's impressive. I know that Inca we used last year at Jester's place was shooting pretty good.
Yeah, that was Inca Ice as well, and that was very fresh.
Yeah, it
I had,
shot really well.
Hand pressed it the day before.
Oh, gotcha. Handmade paint.
Yeah.
It's that
like
new
Inca paint?
it's that new hipster.
I like to handle everybody's balls before they go play a game.
But
And we appreciate it.
that's funny.
Now, my question for you, Jester, is shall we see any trenches this year?
Yep, I've expanded it. Sorry, Evan. Last year I hosted Hoth on Earth, and I took my snowblower and we had a bunch of snow and it was about 4 feet high and blew a bunch of trenches. Blue trenches.
Matt?
And this year what we're going to do is we have the trench system and we're going to have the bunkers afterwards, so you have to break into the rebel stronghold and flush them out.
So, a Hoth on Earth, too?
Yes.
Hmm.
And Evan, you're invited.
Okay, I do want to go to a game out east again, but I don't know. It's cold enough here in the winter. I think you guys get it even worse.
Yeah.
Although
all
it
that
might be
ocean
hard
breeze.
if we're going to have that mild winter this year.
We're not gonna have a mild winter. What are you talking about?
No.
We live in the Maritimes.
There's been talks of a slight
Like-
mild
Okay.
winter.
The wasp nests are
yeah,
all
because
over
one
20
group
feet
of
up in
people
the
says
air.
it's going to be a mild winter, and the other group says it's going to be the coldest winter ever. So,
Yeah.
let's roll the dice.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
It's
Somebody's
Canada.
right.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing,
That's
though,
what
is those people they're like, it's a mild winter. So mild to them is like, it's going to be 3 degrees warmer than it ever has been before, which I guess on a global scale is like the end of the world. But to us, it's like, that's the difference between standing in the sun and standing in the shade. It's going to be cold as balls. We're in the Maritimes.
And on that note, it is time
Oh yeah, and I got new questions.
Ooh.
for Hobnobbing with Hooligan. Hobnobbing question time with Hooligan.
Hobnobbing.
All
Really?
right, guys, I quit.
Hobnobbing.
I could do
That's-
to not hear that again.
Yeah, he does it
It's-
every time, and I can't stop him.
It's different every week.
It
I didn't
is.
realize that.
I still
My
can't stop.
question is, do you practice? Do you actually have this written down?
No, it
Probably
just comes
in
to
the
me.
mirror.
Just comes
No,
to
it's-
you, eh?
It's all spontaneous.
Nice.
Okay,
It's the best way to do it.
I got some new questions that I'm actually going to put at the start. We're going to get
Okay.
through those. We're going to go through those ones first. So, sorry, I'm sorting stuff out because I forgot.
Because I gave you a long intro and everything.
No, that was a really short intro compared to the others. Come on now, bye.
Oh, okay. I'll do it again.
No. No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Now?
Yeah. So, Evan, I don't know if you know what's going on or not, but I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. You got 60 seconds to answer as many as you can.
Oh, God.
I know.
Prepare me for
That's what
this.
she said.
That's the point. Nobody's supposed to be prepared. See?
Yeah.
Well,
Got you now?
unless they listen to last week's show, then they know what's coming.
Right. This is a good way to also tell who actually listens to the show or not. Oh, you're busted.
Not
Yeah.
to put you on the spot there, Evan, but
So far, nobody has answered all of. Or Blake. Blake was the only one that answered all of them in time.
yes.
So nobody's
Good
been able to do it.
coaching.
We don't have a record for Bricktop because we just it was Bricktop.
I feel I've been set up for failure here.
You
No.
have.
Oxidization.
Yeah, just remember oxidizing.
Okay.
Go back and listen to the second last episode and you'll understand that.
I'm going to have to do that now.
Yeah. Just Better yet, go back and actually listen to most of them. Download all of them. I could use the downloads.
He could.
Anyways.
Ready?
So, Evan, yeah, like I said, he's going to count us in. You got 60 seconds. I'm going to ask them as clearly as I can. I'm 2 beer in now, so hopefully I won't slur my speech too bad.
So we're going on 2 then?
No, we're going to go on now.
Now? When I say it or when you say it?
When you say it.
So Evan says it or I say it?
You say it.
Oh, okay. So, like, just testing right now. I just say the word now, and you guys are already going.
That's fine, yes.
Okay. Evan, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, anytime and now.
Blue, red, or yellow?
Blue.
If you could combine any 3 foods, what would they be?
Chocolate, cheese, and bacon.
What's your favorite cheesy 80s movie?
God, do I remember the 80s? The Breakfast Club?
What's your favorite tactical accessory?
Pants.
Favorite brand of pizza?
Pizza has brands. 2 for 1.
Which way do you put toilet paper on, over or under?
Over.
Stranded on a tropical island, what's one item do you take?
Porn.
Which movie would you rather be in, Final Destination or Saw?
Saw.
Favorite hot sauce?
There's one called Widowmaker sauce. Yep.
Why is the sky blue?
Optical refraction of water.
Time.
Time. Okay, so you got through 11
Of
Can you count that high?
yes,
Use your toes.
19.
19.
Wow.
11 of 19. That's impressive.
Yep, because that's equal to...
Is that good?
No.
Wait, so there's not a preset number of questions?
Yeah, I have a list of 19 questions.
But is it 19 every time?
Yes.
No, that's... no.
Uh-oh, did somebody screw up?
No, because I added 4 more, so just give me 2 seconds to do the math here.
So that'd be 15.
Yeah. 2 beer in.
And they're big ones. The Heineken kegs.
It's actually 2, it's 2 kegs.
And you're alive. Good for you.
I know, right?
He's a hooligan.
Gold
Damn right.
star.
Did you remember to push the big red button this week?
I pushed the big red button like 30 minutes ago.
Just check.
Scratch that.
Good,
Actually,
'cause we start-
I pushed the button about 46 minutes ago.
So there has been, in fact, been a situation where you recorded an entire episode without actually recording.
Twice.
Twice.
No, once, and then I forgot to
One
record
and
the
a
first
half.
10 minutes.
No, it was 17.
Whatever.
Ooh,
Round
fair
it down.
enough. One of them we had to do the same episode twice though.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucked.
That was awkward.
I imagine it was far worse the second time.
It was. The first one was so great because we were
Oh,
all
it
just like
flowed
giddy
so
and
well.
idiots, and then I fumbled so hard,
And we were trying to pretend it didn't happen, but yeah.
and I was angry. I was livid. I was like breaking stuff in the background.
At least it was an early episode and no one remembers.
Right, it's actually not even on there anymore because we're running out of storage, so I have to delete the previous episodes.
Nice.
Do you keep them somewhere though?
Yeah, on my hard drive and
Okay.
YouTube.
I was gonna say, yeah. I thought YouTube was the plan, so sweet.
Yeah, everything's being kept on YouTube because
It's
Actually,
all
we've been
about the
keeping it all
YouTubes.
on your Xbox hard drive there, Guardian. That's why you're getting some lag on your system.
yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It's all being kept on the Xbox. So that wasn't too bad, Evan. You didn't do too bad.
We're proud of you.
We are.
I'll have to remember that. I'll have to try and challenge my record later on.
We'll bring you
Yeah.
back on for a rematch.
A refill. We'll bring you on for a refill.
Sorry, I'm looking at my beer and thinking I need a refill. Evan, what's the biggest event you ever attended?
What is the biggest event I've attended? Wasaga
We
Beach.
ask the questions here,
I
sir.
feel like a couple of... Yeah, shove it. Wasaga Beach a few years ago was over 2,000 people, I believe. So that... I think it was actually our first year officially attending there. and we were totally not prepared for that either.
Okay, like totally unprepared as in like you crashed and burned, or totally unprepared as in you just sort of held on by the skin of your teeth?
Yeah, I held on and bent over and took it. Yeah, we actually almost ran out of product to sell.
Sounds
awesome.
horrible. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's always
So that
a terrible
was an interesting
thing.
one. It's just I don't think we were ever prepared for the sheer volume of people, because I think the biggest game we had gone to before that was like 600 people.
Oh, you know, just 600 people.
Well, I mean, Ontario's been a paintball mecca for a long time, so 1,000-person games at a period of time were normal. They were like once a month.
Yeah.
The landscape has changed a lot since then, but
Things have become more expensive.
I don't actually think it's about being more expensive, other than the fact that some of the big games are charging way more than they do on a normal day. So I think the average weekend, the fields are actually much busier than they used to be, and the big games are not as popular. 2,000 people at Wasaga Beach, it's a massive field, but there are still points where you're using groups of people as a bunker.
Yeah, I always
absolutely.
laugh when I see the videos coming from like the big games, and you just see 60 people piling behind one bunker.
Well, it's cool because what I really like about those games is that everybody gets the opportunity to pull like a Rambo move and pop over a hill and shoot like 60 people.
But then in
everybody
return,
gets
they
to
get
do
like
that once
120
a day.
shots.
Sorry, say that again?
In return, when they receive like 120 shots, like
Well,
they take
if
out
they
60,
flank
but
them.
then they just get covered in paint. Like, totally.
Yeah,
not
but that's
worth
like
it.
the same. That's the same premise as like the slapsticks, right? At like Living Legends.
Yeah,
You're not there to get out of it. You're there to get into it.
That
That is true.
So, the whole point is because you want to be that guy who just gets lit up because we're sadists.
You do it once to say you did it, and then you
Yeah.
never do it again.
yeah,
It's like
Bucket.
Castle Conquest in Pennsylvania. It's a good, over 1,000-person game, and if you charge through the castle doors at any point in the day, you're getting shot about 200 times.
Ooh.
But they use this really blue, watery filled paint, and it turns you into a Smurf by the end of the day.
that's hilarious.
Sick.
Yeah, no, biggest game I've ever been to was in Nova Scotia, and it didn't end well for the other team. So I didn't actually get lit up all that much, but the other team did. It was great.
I mean, Guardian got to see Wasaga this year, but unfortunately, I think it was actually the lowest year that Wasaga has had. So, and there was still a lot of people there.
That's okay,
Yeah,
because
it
we
was
nicknamed
huge.
Guardian Captain Slow, so that's the speed he likes to go.
Hmm.
He likes the slow approach and take, don't you? I like to drink all that in, Guardian.
Everyone's got the jokes today. Meanwhile,
I'm trying to
out giving
segue for I'm segueing for you.
This is your point to come into the conversation now.
Wait, Guardian's still here?
Okay.
Nightmare, why don't you tell us about PRZ and how much you enjoyed your trip?
Oh, sorry. I was turned into a cardboard cutout, and I got shot at by my own teammates. It was fantastic.
Yeah, did you see that shot right off the dome?
Oh, I took a selfie with you. I never posted that online.
Aw.
Oh, a lot of people. Did you see George Unanistan's face while he was holding your cardboard cutout?
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Was he making an
who was
angry
kissing
cat
you? I
face?
can't
'Cause
tell who
it's
that
what
is.
did at.
Who was kissing you?
Yeah.
Slim.
We already know who's kissing
That's
you. It was Slim.
Okay. I was like, what the hell? Who? I had no idea who it was at all.
It's your dream date.
What?
Isn't it your dream date? Like having a kiss from Slim like that?
Yeah.
At PRZ?
Phew, you got me.
Them bro crushes.
Bromance. Yeah, it was pretty funny. We busted it out near the end, and we were like, I walked up to Slim, and I was just like, I said, Nightmare, Brian. He goes, yeah. He says, I got a cutout of him there, and he just goes, where? And then when we get up there, George already has it.
He already has it. Friggin' George.
If George had it, horrible things have been done to it.
Oh, great. Good thing
Oh.
I'm never going to actually see that cardboard
Yeah.
cutout.
There's probably a hole in the back of it already.
Oh, probably.
The best part was we took it to the chrono station, and we shot the hell out of it, because, well, it was just too much fun. And
That was you and Cheese, wasn't it?
No, it was me and Jen Dirtle, actually.
Oh, that's who it was, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Dirtle.
So we shot at it, and then we forgot it there. So the field owner was just like, "You want your cutout back?" We're like, "What the hell are we gonna do with it?"
We need him for Wednesday for the show.
Should have taken him up to the third floor and mounted him on the roof as a permanent fixture.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
We should have, if we were really smart, we would have used him to poke out of doorways against snipers, which would have been hilarious because you would have gotten like that first strike round. It would have just, with the ability of spinning, it would have just bored its way through the cardboard. I'm sure, which would have been hilarious.
Like a random drill bit just going off.
Right, and I would have lost it laughing right there. I would have had to walk away and just quit because I would have been laughing.
Well, actually, I got a serious question though.
Oh no,
Evan. Valkyrie got herself an i4 last night, and I posted a picture talking about visibility with it and how it was very low visibility, but I could breathe with it. And then you showed me a picture of your KLR, and you appeared to have more visibility with yours than I had with the i4.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about that because the i4, I could barely see 2 inches in front of my face. But your KLR, from the picture, looked like you had a really good peripheral. Is that a really good mask?
I could see just about everything. It was a little hazy. It probably fog up after a lot of running, though.
Yeah, that one. That was just a single pane lens that you had on that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I was looking at that and I was thinking, you can't see that well through the i4 that he had on, but it's going to stop paintball. Well, I'm not sure about that KLR. It would that thin flimsy plastic that was.
Death may happen.
Well, with the KLR,
I mean, it can't be any worse than all those Chinese clone i4s that are floating around. So,
oh my God, I'm waiting for one of those.
Is everyone's like, oh, these they're i4 knockoffs, they're so good, and it's like, you know what? I'd rather have the
protection
mock KLR than that fake.
You'd rather wear a cardboard box on your head?
Yeah, honestly, because at least I know what I'm getting into, and I won't be surprised when I take one through the box to the face.
You actually will, because you totally wouldn't have seen it coming. You will be absolutely surprised.
And these masks, they're getting shot at with A5s. One of the guys on the Tinternet there and Bookface did a test with an A5 at 20 meters, and it shattered the mask.
Yeah, well, it's to be expected. I mean, those were I actually know who makes them.
Okay.
And they're meant for airsoft. So it's because the airsoft market in China and Japan is all over the i4. Of course, this guy is well known for, if it's a plastic part, he's going to copy it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So it is an airsoft specific mask that people are bastardizing.
That's what it was intended for. It's just, you're never going to be able to directly tell people, that they never tested or it's not safe or whatever. It's all going to get lost in translation. And honestly, it's China. They just don't really give a shit.
It's getting very scary. Every day I see more and more posts on Bookface about people buying these masks online and going, hey, I bought this. It says it's good for paintball.
It's no worse than all the people who went and bought the fishing versions of the Save Face masks at Bass Pro Shops.
Yes.
Yeah. They were like $29.99, except they didn't meet the standard of the lock for the lens having to go through the actual lens.
Nice.
So they were just like pop-in tabs, and you give it a shot on the right angle, and the lens just flew right out of them.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I'm seeing more and more, because I get it, like the Canadian dollar, the economy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. People are looking for cheaper and cheaper options. But it's scary how many people are willing to just try and balance safety and cost. And they're like, it's cheaper.
With those fake i4s, like, honestly, unless you look closely at them, you can't tell.
No, they're kind of odd-shaped, but they did a damn good job. And I guess the new lenses, the current i4 lenses actually fit in the mask.
Oh, do they?
They do, but...
Well, that's good.
But the mask itself is still brittle material. And I know with my airsoft mask, because I have one for paintball and I have one specific for airsoft, it's lighter, it's designed to take a BB, not a paintball shot.
Yeah. Now, speaking of masks...
I mean, they're rated to an ASTM standard, but it's a different one.
Yeah, It's a different standard altogether, because, I mean, it's night and day.
And that's the problem, is people don't realize that. And I've had a few people come to the field and say, okay, we're coming with this big group. We have our own masks and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But everybody that comes on, I take a look at their gear.
Yeah, it's going to get to a point where you need to have a a band for putting on the masks, just like people do with crony checks at big games.
Yeah,
Where they put like a zip tie on the
Yeah.
tank.
True that.
It's going to need to be the same thing soon.
Yeah, because even if they even though it's not my fault that they get hurt and they take a shot to the face with the mask right now, it still is a ding and has to be reported on my insurance. So for me as a field owner, I'm checking your gear before you get anywhere near my play area.
Well, leave it to Murica where everybody's Sue happy and
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it. And I mean, we're starting to see a bigger and bigger trend because I actually saw it at PRZ in some of the photos. Is those mesh masks, those half masks?
So ironically, I believe the actual requirements in Ontario, and I'm not sure about the rest of Canada, is only that your eyes are covered by
in Ontario.
that is ASTM projectile rated to whatever standard that is. So the actual ear and mouth covering that is standard in a lot of areas is not required here. Quebec is the same. Most of the people that are coming wearing the mesh masks are coming from Quebec. They're still relatively uncommon here, and I think PRZ is the only place that lets people use them, and only at private events.
Yeah, because I seen one guy running. He had the mesh half mask, he had the goggles, and then he had these big like military grade earmuffs looking things, right? The radio. And I'm
Fake
thinking
things,
like,
yeah.
yes, I get that those are protecting your ears, but they're not exactly held on very well. I mean, it's just a set of headphones.
Yeah, it's a lot of bulk. I mean, to each their own. If you're willing to do it, you're willing to do it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if the mesh masks are actually unsafe in any way, shape, or form. So
Yeah,
it
I don't
seems
think they're.
tough. I bought one just to look at. I could stand on it, and it doesn't change shape. So.
Oh no, I'm sure they're perfectly safe. I mean, it's a wire mesh that's going to hold
But you
back
catch a
paintball.
shot right in that gap between the mask and below your eye, and it's not going to feel very good either.
That's what I was
Exactly.
thinking. Is what happens when when a paintball hits those goggles and forces them up just a bit. Unless you're one of those guys wearing the mesh mask, the goggles, the helmet, the headphones. And again, that's a lot of gear to wear. Where I can just slip on a mask and away I go.
Yeah.
Right. So that
That goes back
I think
to
the mask
LCF.
looks better anyways.
It sounds like this guy comes from the one you're describing, comes from an airsoft background and is playing paintball at the same time, and he's got his LCF factor on 11.
Yeah.
And that's how he likes to rock it.
Yeah, and I mean they look like fully functioning radios too. So I mean, the guys have probably got like crystal clear communication and everything. But I don't know, man. If I'm playing paintball, I want a paintball mask. Like the mesh thing looks really cool and it looks incredibly comfortable.
I've just gotten used to it. I mean, you find the right mask and it doesn't bug you anymore.
Right, I slap on the
I
i4.
switched to the KLR this year, and it's every bit as comfortable as an i4 but lighter, and that's why it's become my preference.
See, that's the point I wanted to get to earlier before Hooligan interrupted our moment.
Whatever.
Is the KLR. I keep hearing that it's like the i4, but slightly better.
It's lighter. That's what it does
Lighter?
it for me. It's so light that I can barely tell I'm wearing a mask.
I'm gonna have to try one time
Okay.
because
That's awesome.
I know the i4 is light as hell. So
Oh, it is. I think the
See, I
i4 is
don't
the
find
lightest
it
I
too
have
light.
right
I
now.
actually find it to be heavy enough that it almost feels like it's falling down on my face. I mean, dye
Okay.
uses nice strong polymer blends,
Yeah.
but the catch is that they're heavy.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I still own an i4, but I like the KLR more right now.
now it's funny
you have-
because
You have some in stock?
Yeah, good luck with that. Keeping stock on them is hard. They are a very popular mask.
Okay.
they're probably going through the same trend the i4s went through because I know there was a period of time where everybody wanted i4s.
Yeah.
It is. I guess they've got some joint ownership thing going on with ANS gear, so ANS gear is hogging up most of the stock and yada yada yada. I get some every week or two, but usually by the time I've gotten them, they're already sold.
Wow.
Well, put me on the waiting list because I trial gear all the time. A kit monster that I am, and I have a family that likes to steal my kit after I get my hands on it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, my 2 sons and my missus, and probably the dogs at some point too when they develop paintball gear for them. But yeah, I'll definitely take a KLR and give it a spin. And
I'll try
Rock and
when
roll.
next time I see somebody with one. I'll just be like, "You, give me your mask."
Right now, I really wish that Dye would come out with like an i5 or an i4 extended or something. Having a long face, I love the i4 to death. I love the aggressive look. My jaw is always exposed, and
Grow a beard.
unfortunately, I don't get
No
the
benefit.
luxury of growing a beard.
You need the extended bottom Vio. It's going to be about
Yeah.
your only option.
I was looking at it,
bio.
and I find the field of view isn't as high as the i4s.
I
Yeah,
tried
it's
it on
a
once,
trade-off.
didn't
It's like
so I never really
identical.
paid much attention. just didn't fit my head right.
Like, I went to
like
our local
identical.
shop
Completely.
down in
Guardian's saying
yeah.
identical. He's saying identical. Guardian's saying identical.
I found there was a difference. I don't know. I didn't get the exact same field of view.
It's all to each their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I-
it's 'cause
I now
your
want to do
eyes
an
are
episode.
lopsided.
Very personal choice.
And
Yeah,
line
it
up a bunch
does.
of people and not tell them what masks we're putting on them, and then just have them look through it. Because I own
Yeah.
both.
The
and I
Pepsi
find it
challenge with
exactly-
masks.
Hell yeah.
That would be cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Guardian Mask Challenge. Does this
Because the
one smell
only
like
thing I noticed-
chloroform?
The foam in the VO is much more comfortable, I admit.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise,
the
it's
dye
just the
foam
jaw.
sucks.
What are you talking about? I
Yeah,
love
the
the
dye
foam
foam.
and the dye.
I find it. I
That's
found
because you don't know
go down
anything
so
else.
fast.
What are you talking about? I don't know. I've been through like 7 masks before I got to the I4.
Yeah, can you see the
And
shape of his
those
face?
all
He's going to hide
suck
that thing all the time.
equally. You try my VO next time you're out, you'll fall in love.
Deal.
Try it before
It's
he
like
wears
a
it.
max.
Are you
Really
coming to
sweaty.
Jester's game or what?
I probably won't be there now.
Well, then I guess I'm not trying the Vios.
But hopefully I have a KLR by that time.
Make sure it's a new gen. 'Cause those
Oh, now
first
we're
gen
getting
were
into
awful.
technicalities. Look, I just want a simple mask I can put on and say I like it or not. Come on now.
I'm pretty sure at this point they're
I meant-
all new gen.
Oh.
I don't think we're gonna run into any more issues like you had with yours the very first time you tried it. Like you got an early model one, so maybe it was just a flawed version, I guess, if you want to call it that. But
It was a
hopefully
lemon.
they worked out those kinks because it was bad. I just met Guardian at this point. I might have known him for a month, and he raged like there was no tomorrow. I've never
was so
seen him
fucking
rage
mad.
like that since.
It's true. You were pretty angry.
Well, I had to borrow a fucking rental mask. It was so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Hey, look at this. Sorry, I just found the instructions on my smoke grenades.
See, now that's something that's important too.
Is it an Enola Gay?
It is.
Open it up. There's some really funny stuff in there.
You're kidding, right? Like the peel back instructions?
Yeah, right
Oh,
at the end of
okay.
it says, "Don't be a dick with our products."
What? Oh my god,
Something
I
along
can't.
those lines. I
Oh,
believe it was in fact those words, but
I can't get it open. It's tearing.
Uh-oh, he's going to set that off in his house right now.
Oh man,
oh
it's
god, it's
hilarious.
happening.
Actually, on the drive home, I ended up driving through, I don't know, some part of Ontario, and I guess it was just like the smell of Ontario. But I was legitimately worried I set off a smoke grenade in the back of the car.
But you didn't drive through Hamilton because that's probably what it would have been.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm
I'll
trying
be back in a second.
What?
he had to go.
You gotta go. You gotta
Hold
go.
on. Okay, I got French.
He's AFP,
I
away
got
from podcast.
French. Hold on, let me see here. I got French, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, Swedish, Swiss, the Netherlands. Oh, here we go. English.
I tuned you out, and I don't know what we're talking about now.
Enola
Smoke
Gay
grenades.
grenades.
Oh, okay. So
It's a joke. But it's funny because you're talking about reading the instructions, and I was looking at some of the owners groups for some of the markers and airsoft and everything, and I've noticed a trend that people are like posting, "Oh, well, this isn't working properly, or this isn't working properly,"
Have you checked
and
them?
everybody, everybody ignores them and says, "Just look at the FAQs, frequently asked
Yeah.
questions, or read the manual."
Yeah, check the
People
manual.
are tired of dumb questions because you're too
Um,
lazy to read the manual.
So check this out. I just ripped off the instructions of my Enola Gay smoke grenade, and it says, and I quote, "Remember, pull ring sideways. Do not use in public places. Do not use in sports stadiums. As with all pyrotechnics, there is a risk of fire. Don't be a dick with our smoke grenades."
Nice.
That's awesome.
I was actually really impressed. I managed to, I got to use some at Piers Ed, and they were really, really good. I smoked out a
It's
hallway,
an amazing product.
which was pretty fantastic. And the best part was, I bought 3, I used 1, and I came home with 3, and I'm not quite sure how I did it.
Were they the little ones you got, like the $10 each ones or whatever?
Little as in like the size of my hand.
He was thinking of something small to use.
They're
Little like my hand.
Were they the $10 ones though?
well, they were like $12 or 10 for 10 each if you bought 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they're pretty cool. They pump out a ton of smoke. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You
Whoa,
totally
guys,
get the
guys.
value of it. Right?
I have breaking news. Canada
Uh-oh.
updates hydro testing laws.
What?
That's
Canada
not breaking news.
updates hydro testing laws.
Yeah, that's probably not
That's
for our tanks,
been
but
up
No,
for
it
like
is our
3
tanks.
weeks.
Listen up.
It's been up for 3 weeks. It's
Any
nothing
tank less than 61 cubic inches no longer needs to be rehydro tested.
Sorry, what size was that?
61 cubic inches.
Oh.
From the ground.
Haha.
Under 61?
And under 61 no longer has to be hydro tested.
Oh, so 48s don't need hydro anymore.
Up to 50s don't need hydros. Holy crap.
48s and the 13s, and obviously 17s as well.
13s
Badlands
never-
Paintball just posted that on their Facebook page.
Yeah,
They've
that's
had
why
it
they've
on their
been coming out.
website for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, but the point is that
And we
13s
haven't talked about it?
Because we didn't know about it till now.
Well,
And we ran into something
That's
really
it.
fun with when we'd have the 10 CI tanks now.
yes.
And we were actually, before that, I don't know if you saw at Maxim, we had pictures of a tank. It was silver on the guns. It's actually a 6 CI, and there is actually a little thing in the TC and DOT standards that says if it is under 100 cc's, it actually doesn't even need a stamp on it.
No.
So it just needs to be a cylinder. It's fine.
Yeah, so we were going to go ahead with that. With this, we have the 6 CI, but we came to the realization that we would have to put a little card in the package with every single one of them that explains that to every single field out there.
Which would just cost so much money. And just think of all the emails you'd get too. My tank didn't come with a stamp. You don't need it. Are you sure? Yes. But are you sure? Like,
We could just do an episode about it, and you could put a Maritime Milsim podcast card in there.
Yeah.
And just listen to it, and it would explain it.
See? Guardian's our marketing guy.
just need one of those little singing. Gotta get the same tech that's in the singing greeting card. So, like, when it comes out of the tank, you just pull a tab and it starts talking.
And when the battery's dying, it sounds like it's talking to Satan.
Exactly.
You don't need to have a stamp.
Except they'd all sound like that through the winter, right? Because the batteries would die in the cold. So you just,
That's
like,
true.
pull the tab and it would just sound like Satan coming out of a cardboard.
But it'd be Satan with his teeth chattering. Don't need it.
Exactly. Sorry, I had
In
another
regards to
question
the
here.
tanks, most of us use 13 CIs, though, so it's not
And
really
they-
relevant.
Yeah, I mean, Canada has kind of half-assed been living on the 2x2 rule that actually didn't apply to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
The
Actually,
laws
speaking of
involved in this sport are just so vague sometimes, it's ridiculous.
It's true.
This is legal, this isn't legal, this is the standard that we follow, but technically there's no law according to it, etc., etc., etc.
It's a whole lot of gray areas.
We operate in a gray area. We shoot people for a sport. It's a hell of a gray area.
Well, speaking of tanks, I got a question there for you, Evan.
Yep.
I was going through your Wicked website today and was looking at your products. And since we're talking about air tanks and everything, I saw a regulator, and I believe it said Immortal Air on it. Have you guys started carrying their products?
Yeah, we're just basically bringing them in right now. We've still, I mean, the Node sells really well. It's a really great product, but we still have demand for a lower cost bottle.
Yes.
And the Immortals seem to work quite well, and the price is right.
Sweet.
So, I mean, there's all this claim around, people are like doubling their shots and stuff like that. And I've tested them. I cannot come up with anything that looks any better than any other tank I've used to test.
Okay.
But it's a decent regulator. It seems well made, and the price is right.
Yeah.
So,
And they're a smaller, unknown American company up here right now trying to push
yeah, so
into.
I believe the guy's name is Dan Colby. He's actually the guy, and this is again by my understanding, that brought HPA into paintball.
Oh, nice.
So he's a guy who's been around the block a whole lot of times.
We're talking Immortal Air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
they-
he worked for Gorilla Air, and then left and started Immortal Air.
Yeah.
He
and
started
he's-
Air America, actually, I think.
Sorry, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. And they work exclusively with what is it, Akimbo Assassin there as well?
Yeah, that's one of their big guys.
Yeah.
Who
But yeah.
I'm hoping to bring on the show eventually.
Ooh, spoiler.
I know.
But the Immortal Air products do have a really good reputation right now.
They do.
I said, they seem decent, and again, the big focus is that the price is right. I can sell them with a 10 or a 13 CI bottle for $70 Canadian. Yeah.
Nice.
We're running out of low-cost options. Even the Ninjas have hopped up to about $80 a piece at this point.
Yeah, until our dollar
So-
goes back to where it's supposed to be, we're looking for We're looking at hard
Well,
times.
Keep in mind that where it's supposed to be, we were sitting at 1.5 to the US dollar for like 20 years, so.
That's a good point.
And that's where
Yeah,
it's supposed
where
to
it's
be.
supposed to be is even worse than it is right now.
Okay, where it was supposed to be 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was real
There we
nice.
go.
It was a great time for when we launched. You know, it really helped because we were part of the US dollar, but the average wage in Canada is so much higher.
Yeah, we were just spending money left and right in their country. So, Evan, what any big events we can expect Widowmaker or a patch panel or both?
So for the rest of this year, our season is finally quieting down. I always say I'm glad for the season to end so I get some time off, but about a month after I have my weekends off again, I'm going to be like, damn, I miss going to events. So we've got, right now, there's only 2 or 3 games left on the calendar for the rest of the year.
Gotcha.
Our next one is PRZ's end of season, the Asylum Outbreak game. We platinum sponsor PRZ's entire series, so we do pretty much every one of their games.
Cool.
Okay.
It's a shame I won't be able to go to that one. That's a lot of driving to do again.
Yeah, the Asylum games are definitely
Next year.
something to experience. If you're making the long trip, the season opener is the way to do it. The Fight for Asylum game. Last year we broke 800 people. I think next year we'll probably break the 1,000 mark.
Nice.
PRZ is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, as you probably noticed this past weekend.
Yep.
So you got to plan to be there the whole weekend. Drive up for the Friday, camp 2 nights. Make the whole weekend of it because that's really where you get your value out of it. And
Camp. I'm staying in a motel,
it's
buddy.
not so bad when it's actually it's still pretty cold in April, but
Yeah, we're from the Maritimes, but April ain't summer. April ain't spring.
no, it barely is here either.
So, staying in a motel. It's all good.
Then book it now. 'Cause
Yeah.
they'll pull it.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing next year, so I'm going to hold off and wait because.
Well, actually, I was told to make it a family excursion by my crew here, so I have no choice.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's actually not a bad idea. If the wife and kids don't want to be at the field, you're in Prince Edward County. It is one of our best tourist areas in Ontario. So
Not bad. If anything, if I'm going to be going to the opening day in April, I won't have any vacation time left because I already promised the last week of vacation to be used up in Quebec. So I'll probably fly. Just say screw it.
Yeah, well, my
it's
family.
not terrible. I mean, when I flew out to that game in the bunker out near you guys last year, and I think it was like $500 round trip. It wasn't atrocious.
Wow, see now I just priced it. No, actually, never mind, it makes sense. Scratch what I just said.
Forget he was speaking.
Yes, forget I was
All right.
speaking. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible when you account the fact that you don't have to spend 20 hours in a car each way as well.
Yeah,
This is
that
true,
was not
yeah.
fun. That
There's a
was not
certain
fun.
value that you can associate with getting that time back.
Yes,
Well,
probably
yeah, I
convenience
mean,
cost.
you're going to save almost 3 days of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And
don't
they're
get
like
me wrong.
really long days. Those
It was
are-
cool.
those are-
It was fun, right? We had the radios. We were all chatting between the cars, laughing.
It was
and all that
really
stuff.
fun on the way down.
I almost got
way
into a
back.
car accident though. So that kind of sucked. So
That kept it interesting for me, though.
yeah, because you didn't drive the whole way. I
It's
literally
true.
drove from New Brunswick right into PRZ, and then in 2 days I turned around and did the trip back.
Because that's how hardcore he
I'm too old
is.
for that shit now.
Hashtag whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Meanwhile, we had 6 of us in the van, and we had TVs in the van, and we were watching movies. And
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I'll be honest, Guardian. I didn't think you were coming back, dude. When I saw you in the back of a van, surrounded by a bunch of Wolverines, I thought you were a goner.
You know what's funny is we didn't think he was coming back either because about
I
half a
thought that
dozen
was some
times.
ML sabotage.
No. But half a dozen times we stopped and asked, "Where's Tucker?"
The running joke was that I was going to get left behind.
Yes,
So then every time I went to use the bathroom, I was like, seriously, though, don't leave without me.
because
Everyone's going to think it's just a joke.
he wouldn't tell anyone where he was going, and he doesn't make any sound when he moves. So you turn your back, and he's gone. And so we all piled into the vans, and we all thought that he was in the van, and we left. Now it turns out they were just playing a joke on us the whole time. But none of us actually stopped our cars. That's the best. Right?
I picked up on that. Thanks.
At one point, they were just like, "Who has Tucker?" We're like, well, I don't know. I thought you had them. No, I don't have them. Do you have them? Nope, we don't have them. Well then. And the whole time we're still doing 120 down the highway. We don't even stop. Nobody slows down. We're just getting further away from the last gas stop we were at. And then somebody comes over the radio and like, he's in the van. Like, well, all right, that's good. And yeah. So. And then it got to the point where it's just like, where's Tucker? Don't know. He's part of Quebec now. Nobody's stopping for him. We love you, bud.
We're just glad you made it back. That's the important thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
English shared a picture and it was a Where's Waldo, and he photoshopped me. And
that was great. That was fantastic. It really was. So anyone else got any more questions? Anyone got anything they want to plug?
There is this one thing. YouTube.com/NightmarePB. Pretty cool channel. Should probably check it out.
Or has anyone got anything interesting they want to plug?
Actually, I believe Guardian was talking to me earlier today about some BST tips.
oh yeah.
Yes.
So anyone that follows my page, you already saw this today. But whenever I get a deal in, I always make sure to do an unboxing video. And the main reason for that, other than, if it's a cool item, I can share it, maybe someone cares. But it's actually a big safety thing, so that if the person doesn't actually send you everything they're supposed to, then you have proof and you can hold them accountable. So for...
Oh, we lost him.
So for any trades or purchases you make on BST, it is always a good idea to have an unboxing video, because then you can present it to the seller and say that you're missing stuff, and you can send it to PayPal and say, hey, I'm missing stuff.
My Xbox went in the standby again. Because I wasn't playing a game. See what happens when I don't play?
Yes, we get
Give you
moments
all
of
my
silence.
attention.
It's fantastic.
But anyway, yeah, a few 7-rounders, fast mags weren't there. The guy seems pretty good about it. Personally, it seems sketchy, but maybe it was a genuine accident. We'll see.
You never know. You never know.
It's better
Give
to
him the
be
benefit of
safe
the
than
doubt.
sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's the only reason for an unboxing video, just to check and
Absolutely.
confirm.
Did you guys see the unboxing video I did when the SMG came out?
No. Should I
You
go
need
back
to
and watch
find
it?
that. Yeah, I don't even know where it is. It's probably buried in the Millsig owners group somewhere.
I'll find it.
I do have an
I
actual
pretty much just
unboxing
tore the
video.
box in half and threw it on the ground, and it was a 5-second video.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice.
I do have one for my CQB, where it was my first brand new marker since I was like 12, so that was kind of special. But
Right on.
Yeah, I've always had this hate for really long, boring unboxing videos, so I decided it's something I always wanted to do when I was running MagFed PB, and I finally got the opportunity with the SMG because I just actually remembered to do it for once. I pretty much just tore the box in half, threw it on the floor, and then held the gun up.
Nice. Now that's a good unboxing video.
You've suddenly
There's
got
lots
to like running all these ideas through my mind for my next unboxing video. Like,
Oh, come on now.
I gotta try to outdo that.
Oh, don't try to outdo it, because
Oh
that
no,
thing's
man!
up.
Like almost like putting a box between two cars and having the two cars pull off in opposite directions and then going and picking up the marker.
That takes
wherever
too
the hell.
long.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
that's,
I got time.
that's
I got
coordinating
time.
two
I got
cars and
resources.
everything. Like, come on now.
I'll think of something.
right.
A few other announcements. The MagFed League is currently looking for nominations for refs for next season. So anyone that's interested in maybe taking that on,
I nominate Rob.
you can. I think they're looking for people to nominate themselves.
Oh.
But I also nominate Rob.
There you have it. He's been nominated. Any
Right? He's been
objections?
nominated. The guy's a hell of a rep. He knows what he's doing because he's your best friend off the field. But on the field, if you step out of line, he will put your ass back in line. Guy knows
He
what
will
he's
hold
doing.
you accountable. Absolutely.
Is he
Yeah,
gonna be playing
he's
this year,
ridiculous that way. It's fantastic.
Is there anything interesting going on this weekend?
No, next weekend there is
I
though.
was going to mention that next. This weekend, we're actually sponsoring/hosting our first charity event, which is going to be at Seabreeze in Lawrencetown, Nova Scotia, and it's in support of the Canadian Mental Health Association, and it's a Star Wars themed game, and it's Pump versus MagFed. Doesn't get much better than that. So
And
come
people
check
are
us
actually
out.
building their own armor, joining one of the
People
three
are.
factions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
badass.
if you have nothing else to do this weekend, you want to get away from your family from Thanksgiving, or even bring them with and bring your turkey and deep fry it in the parking lot, go ahead, because this is an event you do not want to miss.
Which, by the way, I'm going to miss. Because I'm going to an event next weekend and I had to pick or choose. So.
Well, you're doing 2 events next weekend. That's why, right?
I'm doing 2 events in one weekend. I had to take the 2 over the 1. I'm sorry. I'm there in spirit. Have somebody do a cutout of me.
Yeah, actually, do a cutout of him and put a mask on him this time when you shoot at him, because we want safety here.
Oh, shut
safety.
Nick, next weekend you better have the podcast banner with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
or
I
else
will.
I'll kick him off the field.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Evan, you got anything you wanna plug?
We're dropping the next limited edition Millsig Direct Canada patch tomorrow. There's a little secret link to it on my Facebook page right now.
I saw that. Way to
it
drop it
looks
when I
sick.
have no cash, buddy. Come on now.
Yeah, they're like half gone already. So,
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Just
Thanks.
from friends on Facebook. Now, when I say friends, I mean I think I have like 1,000. Yeah, 1,200 Facebook friends now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
Because
Now.
I've met
one
like
of-
1% of them.
Thanks, bud. Thanks. Anyways, whatever. No, it's good. They're pretty badass looking patches. I was looking at one. I'll probably find the money somewhere because I want one. They're pretty cool looking.
We've also got our Poppy up on patchpanel.ca.
Yes, that is
That
badass.
supports the Soldier On campaign.
That's awesome, man.
Well, that works directly with Soldier On, does it?
Yeah. So we're basically donating all of the profits to Soldier On that. We're not really making anything on it.
Okay.
It's a charity that works with soldiers with permanent disabilities and post-traumatic stress disorder. It's an important thing for people to be supported in, to know that they're not alone. So with our, we have a lot of good customers that are in the military. Even Dave, my one employee, he's also in the Army. So, again, it's just important to see that those guys are as taken care of as they can be.
Now, has Soldier On earmarked that money for any of their specific programs, say the equestrian PTSD program, the
No, not
service
particularly.
dog?
We're just going to kind of send them a chunk of money one day.
Okay, so and like I said, they have multiple programs to help veterans. They have the Keep Function in Sports, the Outward Bounds outreach, the service dogs. So many programs that Soldier On does in Canada for veterans, like you said. So that's awesome that you guys are doing
Oh,
that.
cool.
with
So
the
Soldier On does.
See if we can make enough
does
to buy
what,
them
eh?
a dog.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. That's awesome. So I'll have to buy 2 patches tomorrow now, or tonight. I'll probably buy 2 patches tonight now.
Cool.
Cool. All right, fellas. I think we're gonna call it a night because we are
At that time,
pretty much at that time. Yeah. So.
it's closing time.
I
So
have a really bored 3-year-old here, so it's probably good.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So we're like 60 seconds away from a meltdown.
No, probably not. Just wearing a Cinderella dress and going through my passport.
That's fantastic.
What's the 3-year-old doing?
Oh,
Okay, so so Evan, awesome man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting with us.
No worries.
It was super cool. It was awesome actually meeting you last weekend.
Yeah, it was fun. I wish I had had more time to, not be stuck behind a table, but we were obscenely busy.
Yeah, don't worry about it because you sold a
Make
ton
money.
of stuff and got to make money.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, this was a real showing of the support from the MagFed community, especially our local community, and having you guys come out as well. It was a very busy weekend for us. We ran out of a lot of stuff. So it was cool. It was fun.
Wicked. Jester Guardian
Tier 1
Nightmare.
games are pretty much as good as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. Fellas, thanks for coming on and chatting again, like every
anytime.
week.
You got her.
Yes. So, absolutely awesome. Guardian, best of luck with your event this weekend, because I
Thanks.
won't be there. But Jester, I will see you in 2 weeks at your event, which we'll talk about next week.
I'm
Sure.
gonna make a cutout of you, just so you know.
Do it. Absolutely
But
do
it's
it.
just gonna be a stick person with a shitty beard.
That's, you know what?
It's going to be a mop dyed red.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
The similarities are striking.
Fantastic. All right, fellas.
It's always working on its marker.
Shut up. All right. fellas,
See you guys next
we're
week.
done. It was
We're done.
awesome. Until next week, everyone. Cheers.
Now.